Okay, good morning, friends. This is the 4th of July today, and we are getting together with some friends, and they're going to do some barbecue lunch. And as you know, I'm not doing barbecue. We're doing the rice diet. And so what I'm doing here is I'm taking my, this is my Norwex veggie scrubber, and so I'm taking it. And I got these beautiful white potatoes that don't have really a whole lot of skin like the russets sometimes have really thick skin. So I'm taking and I am washing these white potatoes. And I'm going to wash all of the potatoes. Move that out of the way there. Just give them a good scrub and get the dirt off. And you can use a vegetable brush if you prefer, but I love my Norwex scrubber. These potatoes really aren't bad. It's not like scrubbing the russet potatoes. And if you've got organic potatoes and you just want to give them a rinse and make sure you've got all the dirt knocked off, you can do that too. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to wash these potatoes. And then I am going to move them and make them into crock pot baked potatoes. So I'm just going to wash them all. Get as many as I can get in there. I did kind of do like a little pre-rinse. So it shouldn't be bad. I just want to show you like how we're doing this. And then we're going to move them into the crock pot. I'm going to show you what I'm making today as an alternative to barbecue that is delicious. You will love. It will be totally satisfying and satiating. And so we're starting with the baked potatoes here. Hold on a second there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my handy dandy crock pot, and I'm just going to layer these in, layer them in. And then I'm going to add a little bit of 11.5 water. If you don't have 11.5 water, you can use your tap water. You can use whatever water you use for cooking. I happen to like the Kangen water, and so we use that. And so I'm going to add a little bit of that here to the potatoes. Just enough. I'm not really piercing them. What we're trying to do is I'm going to steam them, basically, in the crock pot. I am going to put the lid on, and then I'm going to move it over to the crock pot. So here we are. I've got them, as you can see, in the crock pot, and I am going to plug it in. Give me just a second here. Plug it in. Do the head back here. You can also do this, if you prefer, you can do this, and if you have a you can do this in a I can't think of what it's called, an Instapot. There we go. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this for 4 hours on high, and I'm just going to leave it, and I'll come back and maybe check them halfway through and make sure they're not mushy. We don't want them to be mushy because we're wanting them to be baked potatoes, but if you can let them cook. You can run them through a couple cycles if you want them to be mushy, and since they have the thin skins, you could turn them into mashed potatoes if you let them get really, really soggy wet. So you could run them through a high cycle twice or a low cycle twice if you're wanting them to be super cooked. So anyway, that's what I'm doing there with the potatoes. And then I am going to use my handy dandy rice cooker here in a minute. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to make to go with this for our day out today. So give me a second and I'll get that stuff together. Okay, and so this is what I'm doing here. Again, I'm using the 11.5 or 9.5 Kangen water. Normally, I would put rice in here in the rice cooker, put it in the base, the rice I'm going to cook up, and then add my veggies. But I'm not going to do rice today. I'm going to do the potatoes. So that's what I'm going to use there. And then I am adding the steamer basket. This is one of my favorite recipes, especially when I'm doing it with the rice. The rice, using the steamer on top. A lot of times I do it with the stir-fry veggies, and it's so amazing, so easy breezy, because you've got your rice in the bottom and then your stir-fry veggies on top. They're both cooked and warm at the same time, and so you've got dinner done. And sometimes I'll sprinkle, if I've got the soy sauce, I'll put like a little bit of Bragg's Aminos on it, or just a little bit of sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. It really doesn't need much. But what I've got here today is just organic Normandy blend from Costco. And it's a huge bag. It's, what is it? 5.5 pounds? So it's 5.5 pound bag. Super cheap. And that's the same way I get the stir-fry vegetables at Costco. And so it makes a lot. Like, super cheap, super easy meals. So we've got that in there. And then I'm going to put the lid on. And cook this. And so basically I'm just going to let the veggies steam in the rice cooker while the potatoes are cooking in the crock pot. And then when it's all done, what I'm going to do is I will cut the potato open and add the veggies in with it while it's still warm, and I'm going to put it in a container so it can stay warm. And then I'm going to add, let me show you here, Plentiful Kiki's, I don't know if you can see it, Plentiful Kiki's cheese sauce. It's so good. It's got, it's got boiled potatoes, diced potatoes, boiled carrots, or steamed. I steamed them actually. And then it's got a little bit of nutritional yeast and a little bit of sea salt and garlic powder, onion powder. And I believe that's about it in the recipe, and it's amazing. It's really good. Sometimes she'll add like either a quarter or half a cup of white pinto, I believe it's white beans, so I guess those would be navy beans, not pinto, to the recipe to thicken it up a little bit. I didn't do that, but it still tastes amazing. As you can see, she was doing some meal prep the other day with her sauces and foods, and that's where I kind of got the idea. And so I made this, and so that's what I'm going to put over my Normandy vegetables and baked potato. And I'm going to warm this up, and so it'll all be warm. And so while my friends are enjoying their pulled pork barbecue, I'm going to have something healthy that I'm going to enjoy. I'm not going to feel deprived or, miss what they're having at all. I promise you. That's one thing I've noticed about when you're doing this, other than the temptation to like go out for pizza with somebody. If you meal prep ahead of time and you've got stuff like your sausage, your food, your potatoes,